Okay, it's 8:30. Go ahead and stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody. We do have all 5 members present. We have a quorum. First item on the agenda is to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is public comments. Go ahead and open up public comments. Please raise your hand if you'd like to speak.
My name's Travis Starr, and I wanted to come by today and see if all of you had received an email from me to help me out with some things I'm going through. I hadn't heard it from anybody, so I wasn't for sure. I'm sure if you guys received that.
When did you send it?
I sent it on the 8th. I think it's of June. What it looked like. Hope you remember seeing that. It's actually, believe it or not, it's quite possible that you did receive it. If you can believe that, but so that was kind of the send, and this was basically a very brief synopsis of kind of what I was needing and how I was needing it. And what it is I've gotten into a situation here in Iowa, it's affected me personally. And I happen to be, I happen to be an attorney, so I happen to be being able to catch it. A lot of men don't catch what I'm about to tell you. And it's the reason, I believe, it's the reason that Iowa leads the nation in suicide for men between the ages of 25 and 55. So what can happen in Iowa is you go in to get divorced, and one of the spouses will be asked to stay out of the house for the pendency of the divorce. These things used to be called, in the 70s, they called them a civil specific performance decree pending divorce. Then in the 80s, they became civil temporary separation agreements pending divorce. Then they became civil separation agreements in lieu of divorce in the 80s. And in 1990, everything in Iowa really changed. And you got what's called a civil restraint order, specific performance decree, and you got a criminal one. So the civil one arises under Chapter 598, which is divorce. And you want to be getting the parents together, and they're getting divorced, so you still got to pay bills, you still got to cook dinner, you still got to do all these things. So it arises under 598. The other mechanism arises under Chapter 708, which is attempted murder, assault, battery, and the other one is 709, which is sex crimes, child rape, pedophilia. And so these usually get like a 5-year, what you hear maybe in the news or other places, it's called a 5-year no contact order, where you can't be around them ever again the rest of your life. It can sometimes happen in Iowa, and it's happened to me with James Ellison, Judge James Ellison of Story County. He's from Marshalltown. He's got a law office across the street. Brent Heron used to work for him. And what happened in my case was this judge got sideways with me, and he started giving me a no contact order, and I was in divorce, keeping me from my kids, and so forth and so on. But it got so bad that this judge, what he's supposed to do, what all judges are supposed to do in a situation like this, lawyers can do it, judges can do it, we're the only profession that can do it. When we hurt someone intentionally or negligently, we can call that back and say, whoa, holy moly, I was off that day. I'm gonna call this back. I did something wrong. I'm gonna fix it right now. Well, instead of doing that, a lot of times in Iowa, what they'll do is, if there's a civil attorney of record, which there is in my case, they knock her out of the way. And then they'll bring in the county attorney. And now the county attorney is representing a plaintiff, a civil plaintiff. And in America, we don't do that. We have what's called separation of powers. We don't, at Article 3, Section 2 of the Constitution, we do not allow the government to sit in the seat of the judge and the government to sit in the seat of a civil plaintiff. It's one of the most horrific things that can happen in our society. It is the single most devastating constitutional error that can happen in our society. And it's happening in Iowa all the time. It's happened to me. And the damages, the losses, it doesn't matter. They're irreparable at this point. And so that's what they're doing. The other thing that happens in this situation, not only do you run afoul of the Constitution, but in Iowa, we have what's called Chapter 714, diversion of assets, misappropriation of tax dollars, misappropriation of man hours. And so if you got a judge commanding the county attorney to represent someone in civil litigation, and you've got the original civil attorney stepping out of the way to make it all happen, you got three people right there annihilating the Constitution. And the 714 violation is indefensible. It's indefensible. All of these things are indefensible. So it's not like there's any interpretation that's needed. It's just, does this operative bundle of facts exist or does it not? And it exists. And because it exists and because it's indefensible, these guys are going to, you wouldn't believe what they're doing. So I showed you this email and you either received it or you didn't. If you didn't receive it, it's possible it was blocked from you. It's possible that a lot of things were blocked from people with iowa.gov addresses when I was trying to get a hold of them for oversight. So that's where I'm at, and I need help. And you guys take the same oath that I take, and you uphold and you support the Constitution. And when you see it being absolutely trashed and annihilated, driving men to suicide, you've got a duty to just simply push the forward button. If I can send that again, maybe push the forward button and get it onto the oversight agent so that it needs to get to, because they're killing me. I just had a trial Friday that I wasn't even at. I fired an attorney named Leen Harrell. She works for the governor. She's representing me. I fired her twice. She wouldn't stay fired. She wouldn't stay fired. So I imagine I'm going to have my kids taken away from me in a trial I wasn't even at, for the second time that this has happened. And no one wants to do anything. You know, I get a hold of Marty Harden on the deal on the Facebook, and I got Dean Fisher, and I got Jessica Reynolds' wife showing up, husband showing up here at our last meeting, sat right behind me on my right shoulder. I know who he is. And so, and there's so much right now with a couple people, there's so much attention paid to like all these other government workers. I don't give a rip about the governor. I don't give a rip about Sue Christensen. I don't give a rip about Jessica Reynolds. All I care about is that judge, that Story County attorney, and that civil attorney that got out of the way to make it all happen. I can care about it. I don't care about anyone else. This has been going on in Iowa for a long time. This has been going on in Iowa for a long time. And I'm the first one to come around and just prove it indefensibly. So what I'm going to ask you is, did you guys receive that from me? That package?
I just checked my email that I got.
That's quite possible. So if you're looking at stuff like that and you don't have it, I've been trying to do this for 5 years. And it's not that hard for the governor or someone at IT. You can do it in your own work. I know you can do it. You're a computer literate man. But it's not hard to block someone's email. If I'm trying to get a hold of the Office of Professional Regulation or the Judicial Qualifications Commission, it's not that hard to block my email from the iowa.gov email. I'm sure they can do it. Now we have 3 separate companies that we deal with. And there's no oversight over any of them on what they're doing and how they're doing it. So it doesn't surprise me at all that this information was blocked from you guys on the first go around. And I don't think, just in being from Tama and knowing, maybe not all of you well, but knowing of you from my childhood and who you are, I just can't imagine that you would be like, well, we're not helping this guy. You know, we're not gonna hit the forward button. But anyway, so that's kind of what I came here to do. I don't know if I resend it, if it would work again. I wouldn't work again.
I checked, I don't see it. I remember you coming in and talking, but I don't see it just looking by your name unless it would have been sent under. If I just search my email by your name, it's not coming up besides that you're in the minutes that you spoke.
You know, I am a Christian, but I'll tell you just true. For the longest time, I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to the bill. Like Ephesians 6:12, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. But this is so evil. This is so devoid of truth and God that to me, from my perspective and all that I've lost, it's influenced. It's no doubt influenced by some pretty bad stuff. But I guess I'll try to get that back to you guys, I guess, and then I don't know what to do from here. I mean, what do you do? I mean, you're looking at it, Senate. I had that happen with Laura Balin and Clark Kaufman, who are journalists. I've sent them all kinds of stuff, and I wasn't hearing back from them, and so I talked with them, and they were like, Travis, I don't have anything from you for years. And those are private people. So just so I can get this on record at some point, because it's going to come up again. On May 7th of 2025, David Nitz, the coach here in Tama, took me over to see the FBI, see the Attorney General, see a bunch of people. And I went into the FBI and I met this man, Curtis. And I was telling him how much I've been ignored. And he says to me, T-Star, I'd really like to see your list of who all ignoring you. So I did. I sent him on the 29th of May, 2025. I sent him my email list. And at first I was like, oh great, man, he's gonna get after it. He's gonna really get after this thing. But I think that he burned me, because I discovered that he's the long-term love interest, boyfriend interest of a judge in Story County named Ashley Sparks. And I just tell you, it just keeps getting worse and worse. It just is really something. But what do you guys think? Should I guess I'll just send it again and go from there.
I have 2 questions for you. Is this all the stuff that was in that email?
No.
So
So
what is your ask?
my ask was, I sent you an email telling you basically what's happened to me, but in a more written way, like an attorney was very long. I know, I'm sorry. But I talked about how much I've been ignored. And I've talked with Rob Sand, and he's above board guy. He's not going to do anything for me that he can't do. And so he's got some powers taken away from him. Like this very situation where you have a high standing government official, and that government official commands an entire unit of government to roof a house or dig a pool, or represent someone in civil cases. It used to be anyone off the street or a whistleblower, which I also am, and I disclose that in there too. That's kind of the big part for me that no one really knows why I might be focused on so hardcore by these people is because of who I am and what I know and what I've complained about. So in there, I come across 331, and it dawns on me, holy crap, this is the only way left. This is the only way left in all of Iowa society for us to complain effectively about the degree of the acts of our government on the First Amendment. In most situations, I'm going to have to go through a county board of supervisors. The county board of supervisors under 331 is going to say, well, I have the right to protect someone. I have the right to be a proxy. If someone in my community is getting hammered and constitutional violations and all this, then we can simply send it to the Attorney General, send it to the Office of Professional Regulation, send it to the Judicial Qualifications Commission. So that's what I tapped you to do. It would have been very effective. But I think what's happened is it was short-circuited. It was short-circuited. Obviously, you can see where I've sent it to you. Obviously, you can see where you don't have it. Obviously, I can tell by the look on your guys' faces that you're same as me. You're astounded that something like this could happen. It is what it is. It's corruption. It's people, it's judges and lawyers and other government workers ignoring the truth. They're ignoring rights. They're ignoring duties to protect rights. They're ignoring the law. They're ignoring the operative facts that give rise to the law. And in that gigantic void, as he says in Isaiah 59, they're just asserting their own personal preference, prompted by their own private desire. And they're setting out, intending to injure someone. They're actually injuring them. And then they come behind and they conceal the harm. And they suppress the truth of intentional injury. And that's exactly what Isaiah was writing about at 59. Truth has fallen in the street. Truth has stumbled in the public square. No one stands up righteous for true God. That's what was happening in the world in 750 BC. And I'm telling you guys right now, it's happening now. That's the operative fact bundle that's going everywhere right now. And I just want it to stop. I want my children back. I am a doctor of law. I'm a multi-jurisdictional attorney. I'm a distinguished contributor to society. I've worked for 3 governors across 2 states. And I've got my kids getting taken from me. In trials I'm not even at. I've got the governor's lawyer, Lee Harrell, who is representing me and will not be terminated. I'm just sending emails out to journalists and to board of supervisors, and they're not getting them. All because we've got one guy who made one mistake. He put himself before God. He put himself before the law. And James Ellison hammered me. And instead of calling it back and fixing it, well, he doubled down. Now he went and got the Troy County Attorney's Office to represent my wife in divorce litigations. And then now they're doing everything they can to hide it. And that's just all that's going on. I just need some help with that. It shouldn't be that hard to point that out to someone in a higher place, in the Office of Professional Regulation or the Judicial Qualifications Commission. And that's what I really need you guys to do, is just to pass it along, say, hey, I got a citizen here in our county. He's an upright guy and he's being harmed intentionally by people who know better. That's it.
Thank you, Travis.
Yeah.
Anybody else like to speak? Okay, let's close public comments. Next item, discuss, approve 8/17/26 regular minutes.
Motion approved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Discuss, approve 8/17/26 special minutes.
Boom. Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, engineer road projects report.
Do I go first? You want me to?
Oh, I can. So in District 1, we replaced a culvert last week on 275th east, west of the B18. We're continuing ditching on 305th, in between South P Avenue, North P Avenue. We've hauled quite a bit of rock into the district. I don't have those figures for exactly where they are and how much this week, but beyond that, maintenance leading, and we have been focusing big on mowing. That's pretty much what I got this week.
Yep, then on the other side is pretty much got the same deal. They're finished their mowing, blading, they're finally catching up on the blading. First round of mowing's done. They're gonna start retrieving shoulders tomorrow, blacktops north and south. And then he's got some ditch cleaning and driveway on LL this week. And had some culverts that have been washed out, they're backfilling those, filling with material that we saved off F Avenue projects on reuse. The other guys are spraying brush and keeping up on that end of it still. That's what I got today.
Okay, thank you for that. And for those that don't know, this is Taylor House, one of our foremen, so in case anybody was just curious who was speaking over in the corner. Next item, discussion possible action on invoice for material testing for E66 paving project. I think it's the one below the 29 one, if you're looking there, but Shane had gotten a hold of me, and it sounds like with not having an engineer right now on staff, Calhoun Burns could not sign off on this, but the Iowa DOT said that the board of supervisors could sign off. It's something that I've done in the past of approving on E66 to have this testing done on material. And so ultimately, with not having an engineer, we're stepping in to give approval for that.
Is that the one you asked Karen to add?
Correct, yep, it's like $5,366.29. Something that's in the past. This is for, we just need to close out these old projects, so it's just administrative, but
I'll make a motion, we approve that for signage for you. I'll second it.
a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next item, discussion, possible action on bids for E29. So same thing, without an engineer right now, we're gonna approve those, so go ahead, Taylor.
Well, you guys should have, the bids. I sent those to Karen last week, but it is the quote that we sent out to the people. Just so you're aware. We had 2 or 3 of them come back that were within the realm. Iowa Bridge and Culvert, for doing the entire project, it was around 26, if I remember correctly.
26,260.
26,260. Another contractor gave us 2 separate quotes. One was for if we supplied trucks to haul material out, and that was the $18,000 one. And then for doing the entire project, $30,000. So like Bridge and Culvert comes under that. It's 26. We got PCI. They actually submitted another quote after what you have there, but both of those quotes were submitted after the time frame put in that quote. We got another one from former contracting for $110,000, so I didn't bother wasting your time by putting that in there. Essentially, what it comes down to is for the contractor doing everything, including supplying their own trucks to haul material out, and IBC is sitting at the cheapest. In my professional opinion, that works better for us, considering we can maintain our normal operations with all of our trucks, rather than having to pull them into a contractor to do that work. So that $26,000 is more than the $18,000 quote, but the $18,000 quote is having us supply trucks. So,
What about the Manats quote? I don't think you
oh,
talked
sorry,
about
the Manats quote is, that is gonna be roughly what it'd be for the, after the excavation and bridge.
that. Okay, so you're not doing the whole thing?
No, they'll be on top of that.
That's the service.
Have we used IBC before?
Yes,
Just want to make sure.
And do we have clarification if Manats is paying for this or the, you know, how we've been trying to get
yeah, that's still up in the air. I don't know.
up in the air, if we're gonna get reimbursed for the damage on the
Yeah,
bridge?
yeah, we'll have to discuss that at some point, but yeah, main focus right now is getting the issue resolved.
Okay. Yeah, I just wasn't sure if that would help the Manats negotiation, if it's, you know, they come down with the quote, if they would help us cover it, you
So
know?
we kicked that to the state, and the state kicked it
Okay,
back down to them, and obviously they haven't said anything back.
so it's
to
in
us.
Manats ballpark right now.
As far as pavement. Wow, see what they're gonna do.
To cover, you know, if they had too much traffic on that bridge, pulling in for the 63
Which they did,
project.
they did at that point.
Yeah,
The state's gonna push them out of their contract, which happens to be Manat, so.
But that's a separate issue
Yeah.
as to what we're looking at. This is to fix the bridge.
for sure. I mean, we need to fix it, that's priority, but in the whole scheme of negotiation, I mean, it could be a player, right?
Maybe I think that you guys have to reach out to them.
Yeah.
Cause I haven't been back.
But regardless, I mean, whoever does it, if it comes back, they should pay. I mean, hopefully they well under that, you know? What start dates on is pretty quickly on all these?
IBC has been pounding things out, and then they can start because they are standing around, so they
Okay.
are ready. So as soon as we can get one of these approved, which, like I said, the IBC one is the cheapest for the whole project. All we gotta do is get a hold of them and we can get a start date like that.
Mhm.
So hopefully, end of this week, possibly beginning of next week.
Yeah,
If they're
this is gonna
still,
get pretty important with harvest coming
Yeah.
right around the corner to get that open, otherwise they're just gonna be on gravel roads and tear those up more, so.
for the bridge, abutment, repair, I mean, that can be done. They can have that in a week and a half, so it shouldn't be too bad.
I'll make a motion to accept the IBC contract.
Okay, I got a motion and a second, any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Is there anything that I need to sign on that then, or give it to Karen if there's something for me to sign, if she doesn't have it?
Maybe where, like on IBC for itself, just click your signature on
Okay.
it, where we can send it back to them.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Taylor.
Thank you.
Okay, next item, discussion possible action on Township Water Association utility permit.
Is this to provide water to the location, basically? This is to
Yeah, it's going in the right of way,
the house.
off of K Avenue in the house here.
I'll make a motion to approve this one. I'll second that.
Motion and a second, any discussion?
Approve the Township Water Association. Get that, Karen?
Yep.
That's what my second's for.
All right. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next item, discussion possible action on consumers energy utility permit. That gets a utility permit application for some overhead electric lines.
You said this was for overhead electric?
So it's an email, yeah.
So they're running on parallel along the highway.
Take it.
all the rebuilding. Yeah. Look at that, man, just off like, and really, I think that's all, no, it's really.
Got through it, David. You got it?
I looked at it last night, my concern was trying to read all the tiny and so basically this shows the heights and the distance between levels. I have no problem with this.
I'll second.
Motion and a second, discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. David, any IT projects, report updates?
I have two bids that have come in for, and I'm not gonna give the numbers because I think I'm gonna go for a second bid on it, but our existing camera company has provided bids for K Avenue and the West Annex. I think they're reasonable, but I'm gonna do the due diligence and have somebody else provide us a bid. My only concern is interconnecting, so I'll talk with Jacob. I think he's got another camera team looking at installing equipment on the towers. So I'll get that. I think we're in the process of replacing a switch in the sheriff's, we'll call it his new office. We're just relocating one office over. Doing a smaller office. Got a switch putting in there. Other than that, just pressing on.
Okay, thank you. Next item, discussion possible action to move September 7th regular meeting due to Labor Day holiday.
Motion to move it to September 8th. I'll second that.
All right, motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. We'll meet September 8th, which is a Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. for the holiday after date, I should say. Next item, discussion possible action on resolution 8-24-2026A to approve or deny citizen petition to reduce the board of supervisors from 5 members to 3 members based on the findings and determination of the objection panel.
Make a motion that we adopt 8/24/2026 with the secondary, this is the second one that Brent sent, but I don't know if this, the last sentence on that, can we scratch that?
The draft part,
Yeah, it seems more,
where you see that.
it seems more explanatory.
Oh,
Have to read the back.
Non-advocacy coefficient consistent.
Yeah, it seems like that's just instructive rather than part of the actual draft. Do you agree?
I'll second that.
What's your opinion, Karen?
I agree with you, Mark.
Okay.
Is that your third?
Yeah. Are you ready to roll call?
Yeah.
Homer,
Aye.
Turner,
Aye.
Nibble,
Aye.
Roland.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, next item. Discussion approved claims.
We have claims in for two things. One non-departmental. These are report filing fees, and it's for $104.13. 104.13. Make a motion to approve that.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
And then in our regular claims, we have claims in the amount of 213, 458, period, 63. $213,458.63, and I make a motion to approve them.
I second that, but I had two purchases in there for engineering or secondary roads, so that's why it's big. We bought a broom and then we had to get a new foreman pickup, or that one was. The dash was going down the road and everything else, so.
That was a nice.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
I'm assuming the broom was not one of the small ones.
Yeah, that's one you got.
That's pretty expensive broom.
So that's kind of the loop on that, why it's higher.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. New business, discussion, possible action, supervisor reports. Does anyone have any boards they want to report on today?
We had a special meeting with landfill last week to accept the rest of the bids for the new building project, so that's about all I got.
Thank you.
Yeah, for marketing. Best others.
Okay. Or anything?
Nope, meeting today.
Public health?
Yep.
Yeah, any boards updates?
No.
And I have not had any last week either. All right, let's go ahead and open back up the last round of public comments. Is there any additional public comments anybody would like to make? Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, what was that, a building permit or something for the landfill?
We're adding on to the building out there, because our machines are too tall, we can't get them in the other building.
Oh.
We're adding on they're adding on a 50-foot addition.
To the west, right?
To the west, yeah, to the west of the existing building, yes.
I have heard lately that some people think we need a data center in Tama County. And just got a report that the Lynn County landfill is being overstressed with the garbage or whatever coming from the data center. The Google data center.
I seen that too, Jim. They're
Yeah.
having a lot of extra construction products going in there.
Yeah, and they're not recycled. There's, Cedar Rapids is encouraged recycling ever since I can remember when I was a little kid. And, which a long time ago. But they're not observing that at all. Did you see that?
Yeah, I read, they
Okay.
showed some pictures of it, and it was just mostly, I mean, you could have sorted it out and threw the scrap this way, and,
Yeah.
but yeah, they had a big article on that, I read.
Okay. I want to be, I know you were aware about that.
Yep, no, I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thanks, Jim. Anybody else? Go ahead.
T47 coming down the Highway 30 from the north. What was the rumble strips coming in?
I thought we were supposed to have those already. I'll find out.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Which tractor was supposed to do that?
I don't remember, I'll have to go back and look.
Anybody else?
Thanks, Carol.
Yep. Okay, let's close public comments. Next item, is we have an exempt meeting for Iowa Code Chapter 20.173, which is for negotiating sessions, strategy meetings of public employers, mediation, and the deliberative process of arbitrators shall be exempt from the provisions of Chapter 21. This session will be used to discuss these items. So at this point, we will be exempt, and I think we're staying in here, so we'll have to have everybody clear out. And then the session, we'll have one more action item if anybody wants to make any motion, and then adjournment. So you're welcome to come back in afterwards. Yes, sir. You want to quick recess first?
Thank you.
Okay, before we start exempt session, we're gonna do a 5-minute recess and then go into exempt. So I'll give you guys 5 minutes to pack up and stuff.
have a date?
We thought you were being sneaky.
You have a date?
Not yet, close.
Date for what?
Retired.
Denied. Any other question?
You know, we can refuse to accept, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I saw Dan and his wife at the races last night. He could be like training on that typewriter.
The typewriter.
Typewriter right now.
You need a manual typewriter, because then you can pull your finger back and it won't actually let it strike.
That's how I learned.
Me too. Hey, Sheriff. I'm so happy to see you.
Well, he does come to work.
So I researched the law. The law basically says you have to be at work to do your functions. As long as you can stay home and not function and then do the functions, you're good. So he can stay home as long as he wants.
I thought you were talking about.
Yeah.
Remote.
Remote sheriff. I don't know. I think that video, I showed my wife that video. Which one?
We got
Where you
one
almost
on
T-boned that
speakerphone, so.
Where I almost T-boned? Yeah, because he pulled out in front of you.
Probably got it.
They didn't stop. They didn't pull. You would have got, if you were pulled out, you would have
Not
got.
going any if I had been going any faster, I'd have been right in the driver's side. But I was blinded by the speed limit.
Was that a person, what are you looking at me for?
60 or 55?
45.
Okay.
Do we need to get that solar flashing light, there was another intersection, some new
Well, I
one
think I-
there too.
We talked
Yeah,
about
we
it.
talked
You know
about
what
it.
those things cost?
You know what?
So $1,500
They're
a
like,
pop.
look at 2,000.
That intersection's not a problem though.
You save a life though,
We're in a normal freaking.
and litigation.
Was that person
Do
trying
not
to there?
Well, the federal, the state,
Rubble strips there.
the state DOT would not put the flashing light on 30 until somebody dies.
Well, DOT wouldn't even put a stop, school bus, warning sign if there was enough visibility
Yeah.
on.
You gotta love engineers.
Oh, man.
You issue me again.
Sure. Alright, so hey, we back.
All right, yep, we're back in open session.
We need a motion for that.
Is there, yes, if there's any motion.
I'll make a motion that we go back into open session.
Oh, you meant for that? No, sorry, we don't need a motion to go
Okay,
into
good.
open session, just if anyone has any,
I have a motion. I make a motion that we designate representatives Knebel and Dolan to retain legal counsel concerning matters of union negotiations.
got a motion in a second? Motion in a second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. And I believe we had all topics unless we missed
I make a
any.
motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that.
Motion in second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, we are adjourned at 10:03 a.m. Thank you.
Whoa, pretty good.
All right.
See you next year.
All right, great meeting.